This segment is brought to you in part by Specialty Heating and Cooling and Carrier.
Servicing your furnace every year will not only save you money, it could save your life. We'll get to the life-saving part in just a minute, but we're here on a service call right now with Nick from Specialty Heating and Cooling. Talk to me about this. How often should people have it done?
Well, most manufacturers generally recommend that the furnace should be serviced yearly. That would be a newer furnace or an older furnace. Once a year is adequate.
So if you haven't had this done in a while, like me, are there any signs? Should you look for something on your furnace to know it needs to be serviced?
There might be a few different things. One could be that the furnace is making noises that you haven't heard before. It could be taking a lot longer to heat up than maybe it had in the past. Your gas bills might be higher than normal. So it's always a good idea if you see those signs to maybe give us a call and have one of our technicians come out and take a look at it.
And this is a Carrier furnace, and you were telling me this one will even tell you when it needs to be done.
It will. It has the Infinity Control thermostat on the Infinity series that Carrier manufactures. It'll actually alert you when service is needed or required.
What goes into this? What should a homeowner expect to have done?
Well, cleaning is a big part of it. For instance, here John has been cleaning the burners, cleaning the blower motor. He's going to inspect the heat exchanger. The heat exchanger could possibly, at certain times when the older the furnace gets, might have cracks. Cracks that develop can release monoxide into your home. So it's always a good idea to have our guys do a full evaluation.
And about how long will that take?
Usually 1 to 2 hours. Obviously newer furnaces, there's less to look through. Older furnaces could actually take up to 2 hours.
And how much will this cost? What should we be planning into our budget every year?
Well, we charge $179.95 for a tune-up. That's a pretty average cost throughout town.
And you were saying watch out for people charging less than that.
Yeah, there's going to be coupons and Groupons that you might see that seem too good to be true. Generally in those kinds of circumstances, somebody might come out, do a quick inspection and try to sell you parts or upgrade your equipment at that time to try to make up for the lower cost initially.
So with this annual service, it will save you money. How come?
Well, for instance, your bills are going to hopefully start coming down if the right adjustments have been made to your furnace. You might experience that the furnace is now quieter, lower bills, better operation.
And John, our tech, just pulled the air filter out of this guy, and it was dirty, wasn't it?
It was. Filters generally last 3 to 6 months, sometimes not even that long. It really just depends on the conditions of the house. As with the alerts with the tune-ups, the Carrier Infinity series will also let you know when your filter needs to be replaced. So you're not going to have to try to remember the last time that you did it. You're not going to be throwing away filters unnecessarily.
Talk to me about life-saving, because we kind of briefly mentioned it. You mentioned carbon monoxide. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, furnaces, especially older ones, anywhere between 10 to 20 years, can develop cracks in the heat exchanger. When those cracks develop, if it's not inspected and you don't have a carbon monoxide detector, you might find that monoxide could be leaking into your home.
How do you check that out?
Well, our technicians have cameras that they can actually stick inside the heat exchanger and inspect it pretty thoroughly. If it's done yearly, you should never have a problem.
I like should never have a problem. If you never want to have a problem, or if you want to get a new furnace, you can turn to the experts at Carrier and Specialty Heating and Cooling, specialtyheating.com, for more information on servicing your furnace and why it's so important. And I have to show you something there. Nick, I'm kind of wondering if this is what mine looks like, because I haven't had it done for a while.
It's very possible. We should go check it out.